Do it. Let's go. Let's go.
We are. We're live.
No.
Oh my God, you're making me choke. You're nuts.
Do it. Let's go. Let's go.
Oh,
Oh my gosh. Oh, there we go.
Is that yours or mine?
No, it's mine. I just muted it now.
Oh God, we're making an entrance today, aren't we?
Yeah, you know it. How funny is that, though? That hasn't happened to us in a while.
No.
All right.
Hold on. Sorry, guys. We'll be getting started in a second. Jenny, go ahead. Give us a say hi.
Hi, everybody. Hello. Today is Thursday, day of your time here in Earth years. 2018.
Oh, wow.
July 19th, folks. Today we are going to be looking at forecasts for the rest of July. It's going to be a really heavy end of the month. It's been a really heavy beginning and middle of the month thus far. Current events, we've got the Trump-Putin summit. People are losing their minds over this. Apparently, it's the worst thing in the world to have peace for two nuclear superpowers to be getting along, right?
Yes.
But because it's Trump, it's a huge problem. But distractions. How are you, Heidi?
I'm just busy like a bee. That's what I am. That's what my life has been. So, yeah. What about you? Are you feeling this energy, Jenny?
When am I not?
I know, right?
There's never a time when I'm cut off from it. I'm always constantly feeling it. So yeah, this is a big one for people. Lots of people are being triggered, I think, emotionally with this one. So why don't you let us know what this eclipse is about?
Okay. Sorry, I'm just getting I have like notes here and my screen is so wide.
Does have notes.
Yeah, because here's what's going on. Okay, so what I did today, we weren't even going to tell you this, but for this to be correct and accurate, and if you are, what we're going to do is we're going to give readings to the 12 signs. But what I did is I went through and I wrote down each house this eclipse is happening in for your ascendant. Okay, so if you don't know your ascendant, then you are out of luck. And I suggest go look at it and go find it. And also, if you don't know your ascendant and say you don't have your time, I went through and kind of wrote some notes on what you're getting influenced by your moon. So your moon sign will work well too. And if you don't know what time you were born, you have no way to figure it out. What I suggest you do is you go to a chart calculator, look at your moon nakshatra, and go from that. So that's my advice. But yes, we have, this is a heavy summer. I've been saying it for weeks now. There is a lot going on. There's a lot of anger, frustration. We have retrograde city going on, and it's about to get even. Here comes good old Mercury direct coming soon, live on channel 27. No, but seriously, Mercury retrograde's coming July 26th, in addition to this eclipse, and it is in the heaviest conjunction that most people can say that they've seen. And if you want to go with a little Western astrology, it's having a square with Uranus, and it's unpredictable. I think it's like unpredictable anger, unpredictable changes. I mean, one day you just might change your mind 100% and just, depending on what you're doing, completely change everything, like in 24 hours. So these are the energies. And so I took some time and I'm going to go through, we're going to give you readings for both. So I'll tell you which house. If you don't know your houses, I have a tutorial on here, Vedic Astrology PowerPoint. It's one of my first videos. Go check it out. And there's a ton of Vedic astrologers that I recommend. Also, a couple items. The rod contest is going on for another, 10 days? So you can order rods from my dad, and you will enter a contest to win a reading with Jenny and I. And if you don't know what these are, watch a few other of my YouTubes and you'll find out. Okay. So what's up, Jenny?
Oh gosh, just another day. All right. So we are going to be moving through all 12 signs. And so Heidi just explained it really nicely. But in order to make sure that we get through everybody tonight, we're going to try to keep these each sign to about 3 minutes. All right. So what I'm going to be doing for each sign, whichever sign really sort of resonates for you tonight, whatever's dominant, whatever element you're feeling. She's going to do a rising, something for the rising, and the moon as well. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to, did I just make that up?
Yeah, I'm sure I can't go in order like that. I'm going to be all over the place.
Heidi and I work very, very differently, but somehow it always seems to come together. And it just happens constantly where, she could be doing a reading and I could be doing a reading for the same topic, and we get the exact same results. So this should be really interesting. So are you ready to get started, or is there?
Yeah. Just to talk about the eclipse for a quick second.
Yeah.
So what is going on? Oh, I don't want to put it in my thing right now. So basically Rahu, Ketu, and the moon are together in Capricorn. They're strictly opposed, shadowing the sun with Rahu and Mercury. And this is a lunar eclipse. This is the second of the third. Usually you don't have 3 eclipses in one season. So this one coming up is like the max. Okay, because eclipse season, it's 2 weeks before, 2 weeks after. It's heavy stuff, guys. Okay, and like I was reading it today, and I put the exact time when it's in DC, which is July 27th. It starts. How weird is this with all these 1, 4, and 7s? It starts at 17:14:47. It's the maximum is 4:21:44 p.m. So I put that time in, the exact time in my software, and it was exact on my ascended degree.
Wow. What do you make of that?
It's going to hit me. That's what's going to happen, I guess. I don't know. It actually kind of scared me a little bit. I'm not going to lie. So,
no,
because, or it also is for me to step up, because a lot of other people are going to be, need help. And that's really what's going on right now. I tend to, when the crazy times happen, that's when I'm the most sane for some strange reason. Don't you notice that, Jenny? How
when Heidi is under pressure and she's sort of up against it, that's when that sort of fight or flight is activated, and she always just finds a way to get it done and make it happen. So this is interesting. And while we're, talking about heavy eclipses, for a lot of people that I know, that I work with, and that I know personally, they can tend to feel these impending astrological events. They can feel them sort of building up for several weeks, and in some cases months, when it's a particularly heavy alignment. So my suggestion, if anybody was looking for it, as to how to cope with these feelings, like, that you're going to be triggered, and that you're just going to be pushed into this very emotional space where various unworked through traumas are just resurfacing, and sometimes you can feel like a fight or an argument coming on. You just feel like, I don't know, I feel like I'm just speaking for myself, but
oh, no, you're not. Don't you worry about it.
Kind of like with our own interpersonal relationships, with our spouses and our children, and the people that we're very close to, the people that we work with. Sometimes when we get so close to people, we can feel an impending conflict, or otherwise some kind of an event that takes place in the dynamic between us. And if you're very sensitive, you can feel it coming. And so probably the worst thing that you could do is try to find ways around it. The best thing to do is to lean into it and to be really sort of open. Because if you're rigid and if you fight it and you're tight about it, you're just going to get hit harder. If it's coming, it's coming. You have to be like water. You have to be able to roll with it. And your body, your spirit, your energy, you'll know what to do. I truly believe that. So the more fear and anxiety you have about these alignments that bring up all kinds of, there's a lot of purging that goes on. There's a lot of confrontation. Things seem to come to a head for a lot of people around those times. It really is best to not try to sidestep it, or to avoid it, or to, God forbid, do anything, take action to sort of rearrange your life to avoid a specific conflict. If it's going to happen, let it happen. Lean into it and accept it. because eclipses are notorious for clearings and for having difficult conversations and things that we don't necessarily want to do but have to do. So,
or
for what it's worth.
Another thing too, that was good stuff, Jenny. And another thing I'll say is another thing it's good for, or it can bring up, is stuff from the other eclipse. For instance, if like there was a situation that didn't, work out in the past eclipse, something resolution or some new beginning can happen with it. Because sometimes the eclipse is the whole year. I mean, it's like what you're dealing with. So.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, for sure. I'm still, the eclipse last August. I think it was last August. Was it August? I can't remember.
Yeah. Well, the big slammer, the one that was, yeah.
The big slammer.
Slammer, how about that one? That was a fun one, Jenny.
Still.
Exactly. That's what, you know what I'm saying? It's still there.
Yeah. So there's fallout. There's a lot of fallout as a result of some of these alignments. But if you listen to your body, you listen to your energy, you can really ride with it instead of try to, clam up and be real rigid and somehow try to fight it, because it's just going to hurt more.
Mm-hmm. Very true. Mm-hmm. Okay. So this is for this eclipse, and let's just go with this. It can change on the solar eclipse on August 11th. Okay. So this is just for this eclipse, but chances are I have a feeling it's probably going to last, a decent amount of time. So I'm going to go through this ascendants, and the way I looked at the planets is sidereal zodiac. So basically that is not the tropical zodiac. The way I look at astrology right now, just like the sky says, if you take a star chart app, stick it in the sky, you can see Saturn is in Sagittarius. You can also see that the nodes that they're in a sign. K2 is in Capricorn, Rahu is in Cancer. North node, south node. Okay, so that's that. And yeah, that's what I have to say. So use the sign behind if you don't know it. Maybe you could use that too. Go with your gut. This is tarot, so we're going to incorporate the astrology so you know the meanings a little bit and kind of tell you what you're look out for during this time. All right, so we're going to start with Aries. So if you're an Aries ascendant or Aries moon,
I'm supposed to be an Aries ascendant,
but you're not. So this is not going to be this is going to be for you because you're not.
I'm not.
Actually, yeah, you probably could take the Aries after we found your real time of birth, huh?
Yeah, I could technically if I wanted to, but it's just not accurate.
So Aries, this is hitting. Rahu's been in your 4th house. K2's been in your 10th house. Okay, so what this is doing is causing huge shifts and changes in your 4th house of home, family, mother, homeland, past deep-rooted issues to like past stuff, past lives as well. So in your 10th house is career, work, fame, public. So really shifting a lot of like home life, work life. That's what's been going on. It will continue to go on. And this is where the eclipse will have the huge shebang. And if you go by the moon, Saturn's aspecting your Saturn is 9th from your moon. So how Saturn's going to make you feel and how you're probably feeling too right now is different belief systems, law. It could be long distance travel, PhDs. It can be good luck. The 9th house and the 5th house are good fortune. So Saturn's really giving you lessons here. And what's Saturn? Saturn is the planet of restrictions, delays, boundaries, self-doubts, fears. Okay, so when I talk about Saturn, that's just know that that's what it is. A lot of it's in your head. So this is what Aries will be hit with. Whoa, justice reversed.
We both make the face.
Oops.
No matter how long we end up doing readings, there is no really... there's no fighting the knee-jerk reactions that you get when you see certain cards come up. But I think that that's mostly projection. So when we do reading for ourselves, we go, oh God, you know what I mean? But really, there is no such thing as a good or a bad tarot card. We just have to look at all aspects of it, right? All right, Aries. Okay. Ooh. Very appropriate. Okay, so 8 of Wands and the Priestess. Aries being fire, it's very appropriate that we have a wand card come up. which is obviously has domain over fire. Eight of Wands is primarily communications, messages, telepathy, potential energy, all kinds of like, connections that we make with people, networking. Sometimes this is also about news. Depending on the cards that surround this, it would really depend on whether it was good news or bad news. But next to it, we have the High Priestess. In my deck, she's just known as the Priestess. And she can mean so many different things. But for in this particular dignity here, I feel like this has a lot to do with hidden messages and also just workings that go on behind the scenes, things that you're not 100% aware of. So this to me looks like surprise messages. Sort of also, this could be communication with those that have crossed over. I mean, to have a communication card and then have the Priestess card, the Priestess representing all that is ethereal, all that exists behind the veil. This could also be, telepathy, communications with people that are far, far away from you. So
somebody might be having some issues with bosses at work too, I would say. So watch out for that. And during this eclipse, like we're telling you some of the things to look out for. It doesn't mean it's bad. Okay. Also, the Fool came, new beginnings, but just watch out for those new beginnings and make sure you don't fall off the cliff. And you have fortune and love. So Aries, it's not going to be all that bad. I think for you, this might be where you move, get happier, things change. I mean, change jobs. It's not all negative. Now, I'm not saying that job's going to last, but I'll say this: it could be a good start. I mean, I don't say you can't do things on eclipses and stuff. I'm totally reversed, but.
So you want to know something really funny?
Yes.
My phone, completely unprompted, just took a screenshot.
Oh man, here we go.
Yeah, here we go. Yay. That's so fun. That was so weird. Okay.
So Taurus, this is hitting your 3rd house and 9th house, and it can be siblings, it can be work, traveling, short distance travel, cars, vehicles, writing, communications, sales, depending on what you do for jobs. This is affecting your 9th house too. The 9th house is your beliefs, higher wisdom, knowledge, traveling. It can be spirituality. So it's not, I would say for you, this could be change with, I will say you have Saturn 8th from your moon. So a lot of this is worrying and change, but maybe you don't like the change. You don't want the change. Okay. So your Tauruses don't like change, and they like slow and steady and no sudden surprises. And if they do have a change, they need it to be planned out. And I'm going to tell you, eclipses don't allow you to plan things out. It just doesn't work that way. Right. So this could be worrying about money and stuff too, Jenny. So when you pull cards.
Well, that's what I was saying about eclipses and sort of bracing yourself for what's coming, is you can't plan for it anyways. So don't stress yourself out about trying to, soften the blow. Just, it's okay to be very fluid and go with the flow. Because usually our anxiety about it is not as bad as the actual outcome, as the actual turnout. It can be a lot more challenging for very intuitive, empathetic people that can feel it coming and whatnot and don't like conflict. All right, Taurus, what can we expect? Very appropriate. I love it. Okay, so I have the Prince of Discs. Interestingly enough, again, it's so funny because Taurus is an earth sign. I have a male archetype represented by the discs, which is also an earth sign. So this is a card of diligence, hardworking people, definitely work. This feels work related or otherwise some kind of production, stubborn. There's a lot of stubborn Taurine. I feel like there's a lot to do with comfort and kind of moving outside of your comfort zone, because next to it is the Death card. Okay, so whenever we have death next to an eclipse, we're just talking about amplified, magnified transformation. And since what we have here is a court card, or otherwise like a persona, here in the Prince of Discs, I feel like this does have to do with the physical body, work, as opposed to a spiritual renewal or, you know, an emotional renewal. I feel like this has a lot to do with the body. This has a lot to do with hands-on sort of things, very practical things. So we can look at all kinds of changes on the physical front, new jobs, new health, better health. If you're starting a diet, this is a really good time to do some kind of a cleanse for Taurus. So just, you know, death is one of the most potent of the transformation cards. It's probably the most potent of them all.
Somebody is not making an effort. A man, there's males in here that aren't making efforts with, you know, it could be a relationship, it could be with a partner, a child, something like this. You need to make a better effort. Also reach out, and this has like, reach out to people. Maybe you're being stubborn, find balance, and you're a little out of flow right now. So that's what I have for you.
All right.
So next is Gemini, and this is Geminis. This is eclipse is happening in your 2nd and 8th house, so it has a lot to do with money. And remember, this is tropical, okay? So just so, or not tropical, sorry, sidereal, because I saw some things. Oh, I'm tropically an ascendant. This. So what I'm talking about is Vedic, which is sidereal. Just so you know.
Yeah,
Okay.
I mean, honestly, on this channel, in this chat, tropical and sidereal and Western are like dirty words.
No, they're not.
Don't say them.
No, they're not.
Triggered.
They're not that bad, but here's the deal. 2nd and 8th house is money, other people's money, finances. It can just be family business. It could be business. It can be 2nd house, 8th house, a big freaking change, Geminis. And also it can be affairs. And I'm going to say, and I'm going to be very blunt with a lot of things here, because I'm noticing
affairs, like the fair, but
affairs. Okay. And so that's what's happening with you, because Saturn is aspecting the 7th house from your moon. So like if you look at your plant chart, so if you're a moon, a Gemini moon, it can be affairs. You're thinking about different marriages, not happy, you know, stuff like this. So that's kind of what you've been dealing with. So they're emotionally speaking, you could have been dealing with unhappiness in your relationships and, you know, stuff like that.
Oh, look at that, Heidi.
Oh, thanks, Thomas.
That's nice. Heidi appreciates love, y'all.
This also can be inheritances and money. Like, it doesn't always mean you lose money. You know, it can be you get a huge windfall. Okay. Or you go bankrupt, one of the two. All right. So that's what it is. You need to know your whole chart for that.
Sometimes I think that when we do these readings, because let's face it, it is completely impossible to give one accurate reading to the millions and millions of Geminis in the world. The Tower reversed.
And the 6 of Swords reversed. So somebody's breaking up with somebody, Geminis. Gemini or Gemini moons. Something's ending.
Yeah. I mean, if the 6 of Swords is planning and strategy, and the Tower is pretty much just your plans are about to fall apart. But that's not always a bad thing. Sometimes that's really good. Things fall apart so better things can fall into place. All right, Gemini. Ooh, Queen of Discs and the Chariot. All right, so I love it. We have another Earth card, the Queen of Discs. As an archetype, she is a hard worker. She is all about the kids, all about family. She can be very materialistic. She tends to be very, she has a taste for nicer things, very practical. And the Chariot is, I like to use this card to reflect, management teams, lots of different ideas coming together, focused vision, honed vision, families, businesses, administrations, things like that. To me, this looks like some kind of a promotion. This could be a promotion. This could be some kind of new team coming together where there's a very powerful feminine figure in charge. Or otherwise, it could be, the Queen of Discs isn't representing an actual person. Kind of as a flavor or as a mood, she is about practical things. Who's that? Who dat? Who dat?
This is a chick holding money, and that's like this is what I would say the Queen of Discs is in this thing. So you're whatever you're saying, definitely.
This could also be about children and families, because, you know, a woman that, you know, that provides for her family, she makes a lot of money. She could be the breadwinner. She has a lot of authority here. So it could be, if, you know, for Gemini males, this could be about the woman in your life. This could be, you know, your own feminine side. You know, there's so many possibilities, really.
Yeah.
I have a sneeze. Like, I have to sneeze so bad, and it's like.
Also, change your focus and base chakra and embrace. So definitely positive things too. This is like actually nice. This is not as negative as it seems. But I'm going to tell you, this one's probably going to be dicey, the next sign coming up. So now we're going to go on to Cancers. Okay. Cancer rising sign, sidereal, or Cancer moon. Cancers are getting blasted right now with energy. I mean, I feel bad for you, to be quite honest. Okay. And it's hitting your first house, 7th house is your ascendant, and your 6th house from your moon. So basically, it's affecting you, relationships. I mean, it can strictly be your health too. And you know, this is time to heal, and it can be affecting your body and others, partnerships, relationships. If you're in a marriage, it's probably a hot mess. If you're not in a marriage, you could meet somebody, but it's probably, you know, not the best. You're probably going to learn a bunch of stuff about them later. So,
Oh my gosh.
Sorry, it's just true. Just the facts, just the facts. Okay, you can stop worrying about money, though. I think you are worrying about money a lot, and that should be going away. Somebody could be coming in with a message that gives you, that makes you stop worrying about fortune. So that's good. Go ahead, Jenny. Sorry.
Okay. All right. What do we got? Ooh. Sometimes it just doesn't work out. Sometimes it just doesn't line up. All right. So I have the Queen of Swords and the Queen of Wands. Right down the middle, we have the 7 of Swords. Now,
sounds a little dicey.
Right. It does sound dicey. So what I would rather do, instead of try to apply this as advice for this particular sign, I just want to paint a picture for you folks. This is very clearly to me either two women that are very different, yet very determined in their own rights. Warring, like absolute like war, and I kind of love it because I love girl fights. I can't lie. It's like I just like to see powerful figures, male or female. I like to see them clash, and because, you know, and this doesn't actually look negative to me, I'll tell you. But this
mine does. Mine's bad. Go ahead. I'll let Jenny tell you the good news first.
The thing is that when powerful people, because I get a certain amount of respect from both sides in the sense that both have a sense of dignity, both have a sense of purpose. So this isn't just, it's not necessarily petty or catty. Sometimes this really is about a war of ideals. And sometimes this could be a difficult mother, this could be a sister, this could even be two sides of the same person, two sides of the same male or female, where they have a passion that really bumps with, you know, sort of bumps heads with their more logical, practical side. But we also have to be careful about slander, theft of ideas, theft of physical property, and any kind of, you know, gossip and things like that. Just you know, just painting you folks a picture here.
And with that, also, I'm going to say somebody is not happy. Cornucopia reversed, sadness and isolation, refusing to see. Also, Jenny's talking about all these parties. And when I say you have energy in your first house, 7th house, that can also be like lawsuits and stuff, because your 6th house is being aspected from your moon. So your moon, 6 from the moon. So if you are in a lawsuit, it can get ugly. Okay. And Cancers, you know, enemies, big enemies, fidelity, judges. I mean, so there's a lot going, and that makes sense because this is Cancer risings are going through a lot of relationship stuff. Now, if you're not on that side of the coin and your chart is not really like hitting you like that, then it definitely can be positive things, businesses. It can be just focusing a lot on work. It could be great opportunities because Rahu and Ketu in your 7th house can make you rich, can make you famous, can make your your business take off. So it doesn't always need, but then your relationship could get a little dicey. Okay, so it goes all those different ways.
The word of the night, folks, is dicey.
Yeah, that's gonna
dicey. This is a dicey eclipse, y'all. Things are about to get sketchy.
So this is for your ascendant and for your moon sign, either one. You should what you should just do is watch it and go back and listen to what I said at the beginning. I explained what I did. All right.
Joey, it's because you're a moderator.
So next. Yeah, sometimes my videos, they always come with a twist. Okay, so the next. Like you have to go watch another video to learn this. Next will be for Leos. Leo rising, Leo moons, and this is sidereal zodiac. This is hitting your 6th house and 12th house. 6th house is not an easy house. It's a house of enemies that you know of, lawsuits, battles, sicknesses. It's not a fun house. Your everyday work life. Okay, so Saturn is aspecting. I'm sorry, no, not Saturn. Hold on, mistake. Saturn is 5th from your moon. This could be your creativity and your children. But this whole 6th house, 12th house stuff is hidden enemies, letting go, hospitals, jails, prisons, asylums, court cases. It's also foreign countries, foreign lands. So it's not the most fun, but it can be hidden talents. It can be good business in foreign lands, getting rid of hidden enemies. Yeah. If this is
low key.
Tough. This is a rough one for Leos. And this is because look at your last eclipse. It was in Leo.
Ooh, death again. Yikes. Okay, so I have death, and I shouldn't say yikes. It's good. It's good. I can always find a way to positively dignify even the scariest of cards. So I have, for you, Leo, I have death and the 10 of swords. Both of these cards are about destruction and rebirth and the definitive end of one chapter and the beginning of something else. The most liberating part about this particular card, which is one of the scarier cards in the deck, it's very scary. It kind of has that ominous tone to it. You can't start anything over until something has officially ended. So, you know, sometimes this card comes up and people think, oh, that's it. I'm going to jail. I'm going to lose everything. You know, I'm going to get, you know, various, you know, everybody's fears. People are very fearful of this card. But I can tell you that this card has actually come up a lot for people that have come to certain kinds of understandings where all of a sudden they learn some information and their previously held belief has been completely destroyed by this information. So sometimes this is about changing your mind, like you said. Sometimes this is about leaving behind an entire school of thought. And sometimes that's painful. I mean, it's kind of like when we all realize that everything is all fake and this is all staged and, you know, we are in the Matrix and it's all a lie and it's all a joke. That was a day where that could have been marked by this card. However, would anybody trade that day for anything? Would you ever go back and say, oh, I wish I could just go back to sleep. I wish I never woke up that day and had to see that it was all fake and it's all a lie. Nobody would ever say that, because once you see something bigger and better, you can never look away. You can never pretend that it didn't happen. So this is actually a beautiful, beautiful blessing.
Okay, so Dave, first of all, if you listen to the beginning of this video, what I said is, this is about your ascendant. If you don't know your ascendant, go with your moon sign and go from there. That's what I said. And it is counting the Saturn is X amount from your moon. Yes, it is. All right. And for those Leos, you need to detach. You've been making too much effort. You got to let it go. Definitely lawsuits. People are having some lawsuits right now. Men, I would say, male figures. Contracts aren't going through. Just watch out. Like, I don't know. You can't decide maybe between two people, two things. That's my message.
Figure it out already. Make a decision.
Yeah.
Someone.
So, and Leos, just watch out for people from behind the scenes. That's all there is to it. hidden enemies are really getting blasted. Think about Donald Trump, poor guy. Okay. Now
I gotta say, okay, so the other day, so here's the thing.
Are you gonna tell the story?
I don't know. I think I'm gonna tell some of it. We'll see. So
I don't care. You can tell it.
So no, it's totally funny. So like I'll text Heidi these rapid fire texts. We won't talk for days or something. A few days will go by. And then all of a sudden I have, a million, like I have a bunch of stuff to say. So I'll just rapid fire text her. Sometimes she responds, sometimes she does not. A lot of the time she does not respond. And that's because I know Heidi hates text, but I send her text anyways because I love to mess with her. But I sent her a text and I said, after she didn't respond to all of my other texts, I said, I know the text that's going to get a response out of her. I said, what do you think the chances are that Donald Trump is a transgender woman? She immediately calls me and she was like, who the F told you that bull? Who is putting that stuff in your head? That is the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard. So, yeah, because I'd heard through some idiot. I just really wanted to get Heidi's attention and get her thoughts on that. But apparently that is a theory. I didn't know. People think that Donald Trump has no penis. They think that he has an innie, I think they call it. But Heidi made some really good points. I mean, a woman would never be able to do the job that he does. I really, especially
they don't have the endurance like he does. Sorry. No, and you wouldn't be playing professional baseball. He almost played professional baseball. Like I was a good softball player, but I could tell you I could have never played professional baseball. So
he may have an issue with estrogen because I will comment on, his particular body type these days. But I mean, also taking old. I was just going to say, I mean, he's way older than people think, so I think people should give him a break. I don't think that Donald Trump is transgender, but that was really funny.
I said a couple more things, but we'll just keep them private.
No, it was.
Yeah. So
Obama is definitely Michael Obama, no doubt in my mind.
That'd be interesting to see her play softball.
Right. Yeah, that would be fun. I would watch that, I think.
All right.
Traitors. Trash. All right.
Oh my gosh. Okay. All right. So now for Virgos. Okay, Virgos. This is aspecting your 5th house and 11th house. So this isn't bad, I would say. It's also Virgo rising, Virgo moons, okay? Virgo risings, your 5th house, Ketu's in the 5th, Rahu's in your 11th. Okay, so maybe this has to do with kids, children, your hopes, wishes, dreams, big money. It can also be older siblings if you have any. It can be an inheritance, big money. All right, so when Saturn is in your 4th house, the 4th house is, I already said what it is. Go back up to the beginning of the video, but your emotions, your mother, your happiness, your home life, all this stuff. So I'm not saying it's going to be perfect. This is Saturn. So but Saturn's worry, fear, stress. Okay. So keep that in mind. That's Saturn's for Virgo moons. You're just worrying a lot about, your home and happiness and stuff. Maybe your mother. And so 5th house, I already said what that is, and 11th. Go ahead, Jenny.
Okay. Ooh, okay, cool. So we have the Hanged Man and the Devil. This is a really interesting combination because whereas the Hanged Man usually represents a time of inactivity or indecision, it's one of those cards that it's neither a yes nor a no. There's a lot of, martyrdom associated with this card, a lot of self-sacrifice, trying to do the right thing. But when it's next to the Devil, a lot of aspects of this card are highlighted. The Devil is, of course, about bonds and vices, addictions, these things, very earth-based desires, needs, things like that. So this may actually, to me, this looks like somebody who's trying to get sober. Or if it's not about getting sober, it's about getting organized or sort of it looks like a cleaning up of things or kind of stepping away. And recalibrating the physical body, recalibrating the energy, because I feel like this has a lot to do with realizing that the Devil, okay, in this case, this is about our vices. This could be toxic relationships. This could be a job that you hate that drains you. This is about taking a step back and sort of taking inventory of the situation and the impact that it's having on you. Certainly don't rush. Okay, if there's a decision to be made, the Hanged Man will tell you to wait. Wait until there's more information. Wait until the smoke has cleared a little bit before you take any kind of action. But yeah, I mean, this kind of looks like a moment in time where somebody realizes that there's a problem, because the Hanged Man is also about realization. And when the devil's next to it, it's kind of like that mirror where you look in the mirror, you see exactly what's there, not what you want to see, not what anybody else sees. It's about what's really there.
I'd say some people might need to get rid of somebody. Maybe say the hypothetical Virgo's talking to two people. Okay. One needs to go in the trash can. One might be good. That's just how it is. The one that you're afraid to move on from, you got clarity, you know the truth. Now you need to move on. I would say, so some people can be dealing with relationships too. Mm-hmm. Being
we all have vices. Sometimes you're bound by the law. Sometimes you're bound by school or a job or a person or a substance. You could eat too much. You could drink too much. You could sleep too much. You could work too much. So this is about being really honest with what binds you.
Well, in some relationship too, some Virgos in here, I would say there's a relationship that's coming back that went to rest and now it's going to get good too. Okay. Next is Libra. Okay, so Libras, this is K2's in your 4th house, Rahu's in your 10th. If this is affecting your mother, move, it could be work, it can be your home life. The Saturn is from the moon. If you're a Libra moon, this is in your 3rd house. So traveling, writing, hobbies, sales, anything like that. That doesn't mean it's bad, actually. So sometimes Saturn, especially for Libras, it can be really nice because Saturn is exalted in Libra. Okay, so it could be good for you. I would say for you, this isn't affecting you as bad as somebody, like a lot of people. Maybe you're just busy. Okay, finally.
Huh. Okay. I feel like I'm getting so much, I feel like all my readings this evening are for women. I don't know why.
I feel like mine are for men.
Well, I think that's perfect.
Yeah,
I really do. Because I'm getting a lot of female archetypes and I just feel guided to sort of focus more on the feminine aspect of things. And just so you guys know, that's not normal for me. I don't automatically assume genders with people. But tonight I just feel like this is especially for the ladies. So I have the Princess of Swords, who is my personal favorite of the archetypes, and the 6 of Wands. Now, to me, this looks like, if this isn't an actual young woman or woman that, has found a way to maintain her youthful spirit, this is about sort of seizing the upper hand. The 6 of Wands is a card of upper hands, advantages. It's quite literally the card of victory. So, I mean, this to me looks like, there's kind of a warning with this too. If there's somebody that that sort of fits that bill, she's the kind of woman that gets what she wants. She can be very manipulative. She can she's known in this deck as the spy. So sometimes she's the eyes and the ears. So sometimes she works for other people. She could be, it's like that secret agent kind of archetype here. So be wary of this kind of character. It could be that somebody is looking to seize the high ground or otherwise sort of capitalize on some kind of an advantage over your affairs right now. And I don't mean extramarital affairs or romantic affairs. I mean literally everything in your life. Business, home, etc. So yeah, that's interesting. The Princess of Swords gets a bad reputation because she can be so forward. She can be so cutting. She's a rebel without a cause. But I like that because she gets things done and she is a mover and a shaker. And she can be construed as a troublemaker, but it's always for a purpose. It's always for a purpose. So if there's a side of you that wants to say something, speak up and sort of you know, channel your inner Princess of Swords, now is actually a good time to do so, as marked by the Six of Wands, which is an invitation to snatch opportunities and also to get out of your comfort zone. So if this is about public speaking, or if this is about writing something, exposing people, deciding you're not going to take somebody's crap anymore. So any of those things are possible here.
Okay. So Libra is also, work could be a little, you know, a little dicey. Something might not have came through, and it's not coming through as fast as you want. But observe, speak up. I would say maybe if you're fighting with people at work, cool it, because, you know, work looks a little intense and it looks like maybe a boss or something. Maybe you need to be a boss, and maybe if you are a boss, you're being a jerk, you know, so be a little nicer and observe. Also, this could be good for relationships. Maybe some Libras might get into a relationship, fix a relationship. I will say with an eclipse, retrograde planets, all this stuff, yes, I believe that things can be healed too from a past eclipse. So can bring people back from the past.
Dicey.
I'm just having to make sure I say it on every side.
Okay. Oh, that's so great.
Next is Scorpio. Scorpio, this is affecting Ketu's in your third, Rahu's in your ninth. Prime example. What happened? My YouTube channel got banned. Saturn is in my second from my moon, which is speech, money, finances. That's been my focus, and that's been the career. Also, third house is communications, sales, contracts, documents, traveling more, cars, vehicles. I got a car, been traveling more for work, busy as all can be. Ninth house is, ninth house is long distance journey, travel, fortune, wisdom, PhDs. So it could be good luck too. And I can say for Scorpios, this is the best year I've had in a long time. So Scorpio rising.
That's because I came to see her.
So,
yeah. It's been a fun year. So
Scorpios, this is the best reading I've ever pulled for you because I'm a Scorpio rising. Go ahead.
She's happy.
I'll let you go first. I know.
So
I'm like,
satisfied.
seriously.
Oh,
I'm like, yes.
Great. I'm so happy. Okay. I hope mine's good. I know I'm very close with a lot of Scorpios. So Scorpios are my favorite. Everybody knows that. I love Scorpios.
It's okay. Some Scorpios are gonna have all.
No, I just dropped. Like.
Oh, I'll start. You want me to start?
Yeah.
Okay. Ace of Cups. New beginnings. Love, relationship. Somebody that was acting like stingy, maybe with their emotions, maybe with, you know, whatever, holding things back from you. It's ending. You tried hard. They tried hard. Somebody tried hard. And I have to say, the Sun is the last card. I don't even want to pull any other cards. And
right, leave it at that.
Leave it alone. Trust me. And they're all like, the two good ones are upright. The two bad ones are reversed. So I'm going to say this is going to be probably a really nice eclipse for some of the Scorpio risings, and maybe not necessarily Scorpio moons, but Scorpio risings. And if it's not working out that way for you right now, it's your chart. And, you know, it's probably, you just should learn new hobbies, you know, new hobbies. It could be with your siblings. I don't know. Take some classes, travel.
I wish mine was as nice.
I get my reading.
Right. You're like, I'm so happy I'm done. Yeah. No, but just as a suggestion, you guys, if you do tarot readings for yourself or other people, it's best to leave it at only so many cards per session, per sitting. The more cards you pull, we call them clarifiers. They don't clarify anything. They make the message more muddy. There's more symbology to break down. So sometimes you're best at sort of leaving it at a minimum. And if don't keep pulling cards, because eventually an aspect of the situation that's not happy is going to be reflected. That's just the way that it works. I can't.
Or you get a set of cards that gives you just pictures.
Right, exactly.
Like this says officer. If you need a so I pulled this just so somebody might be dealing with an officer or the law. Go ahead. Jenny, go. You start. Go.
Oh, geez, Lord.
Go. That's crazy.
Okay. So I have the 9 of Swords and the Ace of Cups.
Holy shit.
This is hysterical. Okay.
Gonna cry. Oh my God.
All right. No, I love it. This is great. So, okay. So listen, you guys. The 9 of Swords is one of the scarier cards as well. Okay. Just like the 10 of Swords, because swords have a lot to do. They're all about the mental energy, the element of air, which is all about overthinking. Okay. Ideas, you know, on the good side of things, it's good ideas, it's telepathy, it's really great conversation. But on the bad side of it, it's overthinking, it's bad dreams, it's self-doubt, it's self-deprecating thoughts and language and things like that. When the 9 of Swords comes up next to the Ace of Cups, we're talking about an emotional, a lot of anxiety about an emotional beginning or some kind of an emotion, a new emotion. So this could be somebody that's feeling new emotions, powerful emotions, and then it could just be circulating around that a lot of anxiety associated with it. So 9 of Swords can sometimes it can be people saying bad things about you, gossip, whatnot. But more times than not, the 9 of Swords reflects to us the really nasty or hurtful things that we say to ourselves or about ourselves. Sometimes this is about nightmares, sleepless nights, overthinking, overanalyzing. When the Ace of Cups is so not happy with the 9 of Swords, the Ace of Cups is all about relishing in the newness and the vulnerability. I mean, it's the start of something awesome. So these two cards are not comfortable together, but if there's one thing I know about Scorpios is that they are extremely deep. And if there's anything that they overthink, it would be their relationships, especially their romantic relationships. They need answers, they need clarity. If it's not clear, if it's not black and white, they flip out. It has to be clear. Okay. So,
Then, you know, just here I have to say this because what she said, you have no effing idea. Like if there's the only thing I like am about like that is 100% relationships. Mm-hmm. Everything else that it's like, whatever. Yeah. I just kind of fly. It always is fine. But if I'm not in like control of the situation and don't know what's going on and have the clarity, I'm not a happy camper.
It's very terrifying because Scorpios.
I get dicey.
Right, dicey. Oh,
I get real dicey. I do. Oh God.
So super dicey, but you know what? This is why I love Scorpios. I get along with them. They understand me. I understand them. Is because the preciousness, the treasure of an interpersonal, emotional, intimate relationship, whether it be sexual or platonic. These are the things that matter to water signs. This depth, intensity, emotional IQ, sharing of secrets, sharing of thoughts, sharing of the body. Okay, Scorpios are sensual people, and that's why I like them. So it doesn't look bad. Just don't overthink. Don't let your mind run away with you. Scorpios tend to do that, as well as Pisceans and Cancers as well.
I'm just going to say this. Woo. Some Scorpios in this room, definitely somebody's cheating on you. There's 2 women. There's the 3 of Swords. And somebody could be sketchy.
Dicey.
Yeah. There's somebody is, third party situations, gets busted because we know things. Boom. Oh my God, that's weird. Okay, next.
All right, next.
Whew. I just had to pull those cards. Sagittarius. Sagittarius, this is affecting your 2nd house, 8th house. Ketu's in your 2nd, Rahu's in your 8th. It could be loss of money or gains of money. It could be going introverted, not speaking up because Ketu. It also could be changes in your family business, your childhood family, and money. Big focus is on money, inheritances. Okay, so also secrets, affairs, cheating. 8th house, big change, transformation, control, surrender. Saturn is in your 1st house from your moon, so emotional. Whoa.
Ooh, we have a jumper.
The Emperor, Page of Pentacles. Okay, so Ace of Cups reversed. Yeah, Sagittarius is you guys. You. You know.
You know.
You know, I'm just watching. I'm trying to.
Sagittarius.
Actually, some Sagittariuses might find a good relationship. Some might.
Sagittarius is the least likely to ever get a tarot or astrology reading.
I do get a lot of Sagittariuses.
Really? I don't. Oh
but
my
you
God.
don't know their charts, Jenny. They're probably Capricorns.
Right. You're so right. Oh my God, that's so funny. I just feel like they're so like.
Or they could be Scorpios.
Right.
Oh, yeah. Speaking of Capricorns, who were Sagittariuses? You could be just like desire, sex, money.
Sounds good to me.
I know, right? Oh. Well, no, some are going to have a good, somebody are. Okay, there's two sides of the spectrum in here. Some people, it's good, happiness with like a relationship. Another one, it is anger. Straight up anger. Fights.
All right, Sag.
Fights and sluts. No, I'm kidding. Oh no. There's a card that's kind of like that.
That's awesome. All right. Heidi has some of the most interesting decks of all.
I just got more.
Oh, Steve J. Heidi. Looky. Thank you. Heidi says thank you.
Thank you, Steve.
All right. Sagittarius. Okay. So we have the Three of Cups, the Knight of Swords. Three of Cups. All right. So I got to this is how I'm going to break this down. Three of Cups is all about, this is a card of children. This can also be the friend zone card. Celebration. Sometimes this is about affairs. And I know, how can a card be about affairs and also about the friend zone? Well, you'd be amazed to know based on the cards that are around it. That's how we find out what that means. And so this is next to the Knight of Swords. The Knight of Swords is notorious for hoarding information, keeping secrets, having his own agenda. I don't know. I feel like we're seeing a theme here tonight. There's a lot of secrets. I don't know.
Of course, that's an eclipse, and if you are that sign, you better be prepared that something's going to come out. Make sure you're, especially on that Mercury retrograde.
Well, right, and I mean, it's obvious here that tonight we've noticed a theme of things coming to a head. There's a lot of drama. This hasn't been a very, there hasn't been a lot of lovey-dovey, very peaceful, tranquil transitions. This looks like a lot of, a lot of talking, a lot of conversations, a lot of, looking over your shoulder, that sort of thing. But, in this case, this is kind of like, this looks like somebody who's hiding something, who is missing something. Sometimes the Knight of Swords will hide that he's feeling lonely, that he's feeling like he misses somebody. So this is also an invitation for Sagittarius to be a little bit more open about that more emotional side, not to be so reserved and keep things to yourself. This could be a time to, be a lot more emotional about things or open about things. That's the way I'd like to positively dignify this, because it could be really negative. This could be really negative.
And what's the negative side? Say that, please.
Like getting somebody else pregnant, like that's not your wife.
Okay, that's good to hear.
Well, and the reason, let me explain that, okay? And I didn't just pull that out of thin air, but the Knight of Swords has his own agenda. Okay, the Knight of Swords will keep information if it serves him well, and also if it protects the feelings of those around him. So he's not necessarily malicious. He is just very, very strategic and skillful and cunning. And the Three of Cups, sometimes this is about birth of children. Sometimes this is about secret affairs, celebration, secret rendezvous, that sort of thing. And it is a card of women. Okay, it's a very, very feminine card. So when I see this particular archetype here next to this card, my mind, and like I said, I wanted to make it positive, but on the negative side of that, we have those possibilities that I just mentioned.
And I'm going to say that I think possibly too could be a male This could be a male energy too, like a heavier male energy where the wife could be the scandalous one. That's my side. Okay. Next, Capricorns. Capricorns, you're getting blasted just like like Cancer. So you have K2 in your first, and you have Rahu in your sixth. Capricorns are feeling the heat. Okay. Whoa. Yeah. Yep. Mm-hmm. Feeling the heat. King of Cups. Well, that's kind of interesting. Okay, so lots going on. Work, job, career, relationships, move, others, you, affairs, bad marriages, good marriages, all that stuff. Now, it could be, just changes and big changes, big levels of change. This is when you have the nodes traveling through your first and seventh house. There will be big shifts in your life. And you will definitely feel a little bit of an outcast, wanting your space, solitude. Also, Saturn is 12th from your moon. So this is a lot of like hidden things coming out. Like the sketchy Capricorns will be revealed. And the ones that are doing sketchy things will be revealed. Mars, this whole Mars, K2, and be careful, all of you Capricorns and Gemini, or Capricorns, Geminis, Cancers, Scorpios. I hate when I say that. It's me.
I hate when I say that. It's me. You literally just named yourself.
I know.
I rattled off your.
I totally did. This could be accidents, health, bodily injuries, Uranus, electrocutions. I mean, you stay away from the storms. Like, and I am saying it so psycho, like I sound like it's probably really scary to some people, but I'm going to say that because this is unexpected accidents, crazy. It could be fires. It can be natural disasters. And you really have to just be cautious. And if you're aware of it, you'll avoid it. Mark my word, you will.
Okay. No, it's true. All right, y'all.
12th house is hospitals.
Oh, great.
You're working too much.
Did you say you got the King of Cups?
Yeah, and Temperance.
I got the Knight of Cups, which is Heidi's deck and my deck are different, but my Knight is her King. Oh. Actually, oh my God, no, I'm wrong. Never mind. Forget what I just said. But it is interesting that we have a male archetype court card, water, dominated by water. So my understanding of Capricorns is they're not actually comfortable with that watery sort of psychic, more emotional energy. They're a lot more practical, stubborn, very bottom line type of people. Good at the bottom line and logistics and things like that. So I have the Knight of Cups, the Six of Wands, which is the second time this card is coming up. It's all about the upper hand, taking the advantage, opportunities. I also have the Death card, which is about transformation. So to me,
wow.
Hold on. To me, this looks kind of like somebody who's escaping something. That's what I have to say that this looks like, because when I look at the direction that my Knight is going, he is moving in the directions of the high ground and of transformation. So this is a definite coming out of a situation where this person, and like I said, Capricorns to me have never felt very comfortable in those watery, vulnerable spaces. They're just not hyper emotional people. So when a Capricorn is reflected as a watery court card, I have to wonder if maybe this person is not comfortable there, or if they're in a job situation or a relationship that brings out a more vulnerable side of them that they don't like. So perhaps they don't feel comfortable being in a job or in a relationship, but this looks like if you have an opportunity to take off, you should.
And I'm going to say some Capricorns should reach out. Okay.
Well, you can do both.
Yeah, reach out because people are going to get affected. And also find balance in work, because that could be you're just working too much and you're not finding time, because that's K2 can make you just focus on you and disconnect you from others. And also the 10 of Cups, the 5, like competing for happiness or something, and you got to go with the flow.
Oh yeah, Heidi. Someone, thank you for that comment. So I saw this because Cliff mentioned it, that today there's an alignment that starts, all the planets are on the same side of the sun.
Yes.
So this is really interesting. So I think this happens once every, I think Cliff said something like once every 250 years or something like that. It's not very common. And it's, whew, I'd actually like to do some research on that. See the significance of it.
Aquarius. Sorry, I'm just trying to keep us on track, right?
That's good. That's good. We need that.
Because I know you'll yell at me in like 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Okay, so K2 is in your 12th house. Rahu's in your 6th. Affairs, endings, enemies, surgeries, hospitals, jails, prisons. Now it could just be traveling. It could be, but this is probably, Aquariuses are getting pretty smashed up right now with energy, okay? It also, but Saturn is 11th from your moon. So worrying about money a lot, and that makes total sense. A lot of like stress, worry, fears about money, losing money. You could be spending money, too much money. There's definitely some male sketchy Aquariuses out there.
I see.
Yeah. So some of the Aquarius males, I would say you guys might get called out of a third party situation for sure. You don't want commitment. Your illusions, you're feeding people illusions. It's like a joke, actually. So stop doing it. I mean, serious. It's like, yeah, you're pretending like you're just trying to keep all options open if it has to do with relationships.
Okay. So Aquarius, this is the first time that the Temperance card has come up for anybody tonight. So that's cool. So this is about patience, application of skills, the coming together of opposite sides. This is a very alchemical card. The good things come to those who wait, that sort of thing. However, next to it, I have cards that to me indicate boredom. So I have the 9 of Wands, which isn't necessarily a boredom card. If anything, it's a very phallic card. It's very masculine. There's a lot of energy there. But next to it, I have the 4 of Cups, which is kind of about dissipation, detachment, being really bored and dissatisfied with something. So to me, this looks like somebody that's ready to kind of, who's calling me from an unavailable number right now? Really? Decline. Sorry about that.
Okay.
But yeah, this almost looks to me kind of like when you've done something that you got a lot of disapproval from people in your life, and then you kind of have that hanging over your shoulder, or there was a big argument, or there was some big event that's kind of looming and nobody's really kind of gotten over it, and there's still some residual issues there. Be really careful that those things don't wear you out. Because the 9 of Wands is a lot about something from the past sort of coming back. I just feel like this is about somebody that's really dissatisfied right now. And they're trying to be patient. There's been a lot of, putting energy into something, but it doesn't look like it's paying off, because whenever the 4 of Cups comes around, this is like, there's no substance there. So this could be a job that you're really over, something that you have to do, but you really don't want to be doing it. So that's a crappy job. This can also be frustration with not sort of living up to your expectations or other people's expectations of you. So whereas the 9 of Wands is that energy of being close to the finish line or almost there, what the 4 of Cups does is it counters that, and it kind of takes away your motivation to finish that last leg of the race. So, I hope that resonates for whoever needs to hear it.
Somebody needs to reach out. It's a lot of work, but I think this card's come up for like 4 people, and I've shuffled these pretty thoroughly. It's interesting. Okay. Last but not least, okay, so for Pisces rising, it is K2's in your 11th house, Rahu's in your 5th. So this is just your hopes, wishes, dreams, social media, money, stuff like that can be affected. And also children, creativity, doing stuff like this, social media, all that stuff. And honestly, Jenny, I'm just sitting here thinking about you as a Pisces rising, right? You're growing your channel. Make sure you go check out Jenny's channel. Jenny, are you changing the name of your channel?
I'll be changing the name of my channel very soon.
Okay,
yeah.
but still go subscribe to her. It's Jenny Moonstone.
Yeah.
So that's growing, work changing, and Saturn's 10th from your moon. So worries about work, duties, but it's not bad for Pisces rising, I would say.
Good.
Yeah.
All right.
And then I pull a card that says challenging times.
Fabulous. Well, it's not always a bad thing. I have a hard time thinking back to a time when I wasn't challenged in some form.
Right.
All right. So we have the Wheel of Fortune, the Ace of Wands. Okay. So this is a really, really great, to me, this is all about priorities. So whenever the Wheel of Fortune comes into the picture, we are talking about, obviously we're talking about luck. You don't have to believe in luck to be kissed by luck or touched by luck, because luck is real whether you believe in it or not. Sometimes the universe does smile upon us. And so when that shows up here next to the Ace of Wands, which is all about inspiration and creation, and in a relationship sense, this is all about passion, chemistry, magnetism, sex, all that like awesome, fun, fiery stuff. And this is obviously, as an ace, this is a very solid beginning. So to me, this looks like, as a Pisces rising, Pisceans, definitely look out for something that is going to spark your interest. Pisceans are really, really good at being taken by sparkly things. If something looks cool or seems exciting, those fishies will take that lure, will bite it. So this is, do you kind of know what I mean? I'm sure you
in the fifth house is romance too. And then this card came shooting out. Okay.
Oh, okay.
And then the Death and Fool both came out. So, but it's upright. So that's positive. The Death card to me is not scary. I like the Death card, actually.
It's a great card. It's clearing things out, things that don't matter anymore.
Really, it is.
But I mean, honestly, this does look like some kind of a new endeavor, a new passion. I wouldn't say it's like a new job or anything like that, because this looks like a creative endeavor, some kind of expansive, mind-opening experience that really engages your mental faculties, your willpower.
I would say some people could be getting divorced, and some people could have the positive too. So
getting married, getting divorced.
Yeah, exactly. Some have challenging times, some have love, self-love, and find balance. So, I guess you choose that, Pisces. You can choose which. Do you want to be an emotional basket case? Or do you want to be, or you could be just fine.
Right. Your choice, your decision, y'all.
Throat chakra, share the love. Yeah. Nothing new stuff too. Lots of new.
Oh my God.
New. I know, right?
You guys, thank you so much for all your questions and your comments, and your donations, and all of your interesting insight and input.
What should we do for the donations? I think we just do you want to pull a card for each one? Because I'm not doing charts today. I don't even have my one computer ready for that.
Let's do it.
There's four, I think. No more donations, guys. We're only going to do the 4 that already donated. We have things going on. We're busy night. So let's see.
So just please stand by while Heidi looks at these.
First is for T. Peters. So, all right, T. Peters. You need maybe find some new groups, new friends, new people to hang around with, new classes, teach, new groups that you can learn something from, maybe learn a new thing. Maybe you're learning, you're just getting into this YouTube stuff. There is some release that needs to take place in the heart chakra came up. I'm not a chakra person, so maybe Jenny can give a little.
She's definitely not a heart chakra person of all the chakras. No, I'm just kidding. Nobody knows how lovey Heidi really is. She's really, she doesn't, nobody needs to know that. All right. But I guess I just told everybody. All right. So I have the 8 of Wands. All right. The 6 of Wands, the 8 of Wands, and the Magician. So the Magician, all about skill, trade, craftsmen, mechanics, IT guys, artists, truck drivers, people that work with the communications, like your Comcast people, I want to use FPL, it's just Florida Power and Lighting. So I feel like this is about the productivity. This is about the job, or otherwise what it is that you do with your hands, some kind of a creation here. Also networking. 8 of Wands is about, like I said, it's about communications, electricity, emails, text messages, phone calls, interviews, and it all looks really positively dignified here. There's no red flags. 6 of Wands upright is, again, I mean, it might be the card of the day, which is all about high ground, sort of really sticking to your guns on something too. So knowing you were right, having an idea that you were right, you thought this was a good idea, it felt like a good idea, and then sort of just pulling the trigger and going with it, that sort of thing really pays off.
Control.
Okay. Well, the 6 of Wands is a card of control. Yeah. Six of Wands is a card of composure. Sometimes this is about being confronted with something that triggers a side of you that you could either fall apart or you could, hold it together. And whenever we're talking about the high ground or the upper hand, the cool, calm, collected person always reigns supreme in the end.
Definitely could be something going on with a turbulent relationship. All right, next will be Lindsay. I think that's Lindsay. This is for Lindsay. All right, Lindsay. This is for Lindsay. Good old Lindsay. Maybe you're working on balance, joy, and stability, observing, sharing the love. Looks like you're doing positive things. That other person, I'm not even going to say it, just in case. All right.
3 of Discs, death again, and
yeah. As I keep going, I was like, judgment. There's some friends, third party, maybe some friends that are getting a little out of sorts.
Well, three of Discs, when we're talking about friends and friendships, especially when it's reversed, we can look about people. We're looking at people that don't work well together. They have too much competition with each other. It's very underhanded sort of thing, very nice to your face, but they turn around and they really don't want you to do well. And so also with the 6 of Discs, all right, so I have the 3 and the 6 of Discs and the Death card. So I think that this does have something to do with exposure, learning who's really on your team and who's not on your team. The 6 of Discs on its own is a really positive card about work and money, but we have to look at the cards that surround it always to get an accurate picture. And so I think that this is an exposure of the people that you thought were on your team or somehow were working well with the group. You think that they're working well with the group, but they're really not. 2 of Cups. Yeah. See, this is why
and the High Priestess reversed.
Well, secrets.
Yeah.
Secret love affairs. But whenever I see the 2 of Cups reversed, which is more negatively dignified with the High Priestess, I always think of affairs.
Yeah.
Secret.
And this card's sitting here with the 3 chicks.
Of the 3 of Cups.
Yeah. So Lindsay, just be careful who you're trusting. All right, Thomas.
Lindsay said it was spot on.
Okay.
Good to hear it.
Yeah, we like the feedback, even if it's even if it's
Even
wrong.
if you're like, oh my God.
I mean, we don't really like if it's
you
wrong.
guys are the worst. Oh my God. Like, don't quit your day job. Hey, it's feedback. What are you going to do? We're cool.
All right, Thomas, the star reverse, like something. Some partnership might have gone 2 of Wands reversed, 2 of Cups reversed, the Emperor and the Star reversed, but the Emperor is upright.
What's the name here, please?
Thomas. Somebody's walking away from something. You're walking away from something. The fights. A new beginning. You're juggling 2 things. Could be work, business partners.
The cards don't lie. Get your free reading. My husband makes fun of me.
You have an indecision, meaning you need to make a decision about something. You think it's like, oh, I'll just wait it out. Oh, I'll just try. And that's kind of what I said here with these cards. So you're undecided about something, but you know what you're supposed to be doing.
Oh, I really have to agree with you because again, I have the death card. Okay. All right. So I have the death card, the 4 of Cups, and the 5 of Discs. Now, if this was about relationships, the 4 of Cups is about indifference. It's being unattached. In some ways, this is about you and your partner, or if you have a partner, this is kind of about having the conversation about, your attachments to each other and emotions and things like that. 5 of Discs is very much about being left out in the cold. So if I were to apply this to a relationship, which I don't know why I'm doing that, because I can't even just assume that this reading is about relationships, but my mind just kind of wants to go there. This looks like a wounded relationship. It's just a lot of damage there. There's a lot of detachment that's resulted from quite a bit of arguing. Could be issues with money, could be past arguments, that sort of thing. But if this is not about relationships, if this is about you personally as a state of mind, is it the Lovers?
The Lovers, but strength. Yeah, but something, it looks like, yeah. Okay. It's good, but I would say she's spot on with the relationship thing. As you said that, the Lovers pulled up. And I'm going to tell you, something's dicey with the relationship.
Dicey.
But good for money.
Okay. So
money's coming in.
Well, okay. So here's the really positive thing about the Death card is that whenever it rears its ugly head, you know that you are in for a change. The only constant is change. Things are just forever going to change. So you could either prolong the inevitable, or you could have the difficult conversation about how, maybe feelings have changed or the stress of money has really wore down the relationship, that sort of thing. These difficult conversations need to happen because chances are your anxiety about the difficult conversation is worse than the actual conversation. I can't tell you how often this happens. That's why I'm saying it. But 5 of Discs is also, this is about fear of abandonment. This is about fear of leaving. Fear of change. It's a very, it's a lot about transition, being kind of stuck in the middle, that sort of thing. If there are assets or children involved, this is also about feeling like you can't do enough, you can't be enough. It's a tough card.
This could be somebody sick too. So
well, 5 of Discs is often about health. It's about periods of time where we have poor health.
Somebody's in bed here sick, and then sudden shock from bad news, and then the Tower surrounded by clouds, sickness. So somebody might be sick around you. And if you have any bad addictions, you should give them up, because some card about wine came up. I'm not saying you do have that. I'm just pulling. Maybe somebody does in your life. Okay, so I hope that helps, Thomas. But good for money. I have to say, finances look pretty good.
Yep. So, folks.
Illness. It came out again.
Oh, thank you, Lindsay. I'm so glad you enjoyed your reading. I'm glad that it was accurate.
Okay, so last two, we have Tim and Steve. So Tim. Star card reversed. Emperor. Oh, what? You gotta be kidding me. Walking away from something that you wanted to work, or somebody's walking away from you. Definitely family. But Ace of Pentacles came out, so it's for the better. That's for sure. If there's somebody, like, it might be family, it might be. What do you have, Jenny?
I have the Priestess, the Queen of Discs, and the Three of Discs. So here's the thing.
Walking away.
To me, this looks like the workings of a very intelligent woman, some kind of a female. She has a lot of control over the situation. It could be a wife, it could be a mother, it could be somebody you work with that has a lot of power in a business partnership. It could be a boss or a manager. Also, the Three of Discs, again, this comes up as being somebody that sees you as an equal. So this actually doesn't strike me as being about leaving or walking away so much as it is about sort of plans. It could be somebody in your life is working on a project, and maybe it's something they're not openly talking about yet, or it could be like you could have an idea to start a business or to start some kind of a project with a particular woman. I just see this person is working really well with you. There's a great camaraderie there, great rapport. So somebody that you've known for quite a while. There's a lot of comfort here. And the power of creative feminine energy as well. So I don't know if that's something that you've invited into your life, the power of the divine feminine and all she can do for you. And if you haven't, this is an invitation to do so now. What you got?
Walking there, something that you heard some bad news. You could hear some bad news. Okay, walk away. Maybe somebody wants to walk away from you. It could be that way. Take the lead, new vitality. Something really positive is believe and succeed, like good things. So as Jenny was talking, those cards were coming up about the starting a business and open up.
New project.
Yep. This doesn't sound like it's going to be that bad of an eclipse. Maybe it's not. I think it's just going to be an angry, heated, emotional, frustrated thing and accidents. Sounds great. All right, Steve.
Sounds great. Oh my gosh, what an awesome combination.
I know, Steve. This is for Steve. Steve in the chat. Steve J. From Phoenix. Moving on. We start with I'm just saying he's walking in the sand.
Sorry about that, folks.
Even my oracles cards tell the truth. Like there's so many positive ones in here. Dreams coming true, manifest. They're all like lots of people have to walk away.
Oh my god. It's been such a dicey night.
It is.
I say Heidi and I do a tipsy tarot and astrology next time around.
I know.
I feel like that never works out. Like I have a confession, you guys. I have been drunk as a skunk at least twice on this show.
Yeah.
Is that bad? And not
Good luck finding the videos.
Yeah, like have a good time. Like no. I think Heidi knew one time, but another time she didn't really know. I didn't let her know.
I know every time. Are you nuts? Nice try.
It hasn't happened for months. No, I haven't. I haven't. Like, I'm not even a drinker either. Like, ask Heidi. So when I do drink, it's like, woo! Here comes red wine, Jenny. So, yeah. Tim. Sorry about that. Steve. I remember the face. I can see the icon in my head. The name next to the icon.
Steve, could you be moving? Maybe. It says with a stork. So I don't know. Maybe it says the stork denotes change of residence. There are some financial constraints.
I was just going to say I have the 10 of Wands, which is quite literally constraints. Ooh. Okay, so there's a few negative things that are highlighted, but that's okay. Sometimes tarot shows us what we don't want to see because we need to see it. I have the 9 of Swords, negative self-talk, sleepless nights, overthinking. To me, this even feels like stressing about money, stressing about your responsibilities and your obligations. So I have the 9 of Swords, the 10 of Wands, and the Devil. So the Devil is about the things that control you. So in this case, this could be something that demands way, way too much of your time, obligations, responsibilities, being super, super stressed out about that. But it really does seem to me as if this feeling of being burdened, okay, so just overwhelmed with responsibilities and that sort of thing. But it looks like the reality of it is a lot worse in your head. So that your state of mind is really key to how this all plays out. So if you want to be really negative and focus on all the things that you have to do and all of the things that are demanded of you, you could do that. And you can continue to sort of feed that cycle. Or you can shift your energy a little bit. You can shift your mindset. Do you have a lot of, there's a lot of.
Something is done. Like clean it out. You're trying to drag on to something that needs to end. If you want to keep trying, it will end. It's going to end. I promise you. Okay. Because the Tower, Ace of Swords reverse, everything, like something's ending. And it could literally be your mentality. Absolutely. But financial, like you're stressed. Definitely. There's things going on. But on the positive side, I did have the Chariot and King of Cups. So, I have to say that there's a happy ending. But once again, we have and that's right now what this eclipse is all about. Cleaning.
I got the Chariot also. That's why I feel like this has something to do with family and family obligations, or, some kind of a group that you need to partake in that you might not always feel to partaking in.
Didn't you have the Devil?
Yes.
Yeah.
You have the Devil as well. Okay. Yeah. So, control structures, both self-imposed and externally imposed. Because the man of the house or the manager at work or, the supervisor or whatever, sometimes we have no idea how hard it is for them. And being men, they're not really, they don't express it. They don't talk about it. They just kind of like bottle it up and keep going forward. The problem with that is that you internalize all of it, and sometimes it can manifest itself in really negative ways. Skin issues, hair issues, weight issues, these sort of things. So to me, my suggestion to you would certainly be to find some kind of a stress reliever, some kind of a coping mechanism, and to kind of neutralize your emotions about the situation. That's the 2 of Swords. And that's being really, really clear with your decisions, realizing that you do have choices, defining your choices, and then approaching it from a place that's not nearly as explosive and emotional as you may like to be because of all the frustration, but to be really sort of fair.
Okay. And last one, David, I promise this, no more donating, guys. Please, please, please. This is the last one we're doing. All right, Jenny, thank you for the donations. Unless you can just donate them if you'd like, but I'm just saying this is the last reading. Yeah. That's what sucks when you come in the chat late. Can some of the moderators, I have like 1,000 of them. So could somebody just write that so people don't, because then I feel horrible.
I don't think I have a single moderator.
Yeah, you do. Me. Remember I had to teach you how to.
That's right. Heidi had to tell me how to make her a moderator on it.
Okay, so David Lutz. How is this even possible? Like, how does this work? Go ahead, Jenny.
Okay. All right. I have the Ace of Discs, the Hanged Man, the Ace of Cups, and Death. What a strange combination. Okay. So the Hanged Man and Death. Just a second here. So I really do love when we have such definitive beginnings and definitive endings. So whenever we have an ace, and in this case, two aces coming up next to a death card, we're definitely talking about a relationship or some kind of an arrangement that had been long standing that is now undergoing a huge overhaul, and everything is going to change. And it does look to me as if a decision about this particular situation has been at the back of your mind for a long time, because there's certainly been a period of inaction. So it's like you can wait for something to stagnate. You can wait for, you know, issues to arise. If you're unhappy in a living situation and a job, that sort of thing, you'll really sort of, you won't do anything. When you don't know what to do, you do nothing at all. But whenever we have the Ace of Discs, which is about stable ground, solid footing, a stable place to live, having your bills paid on time. This is also really good health in the event that you were sick before or having issues with your health. This is about renewed health. And the same thing with the Ace of Cups. This is about renewed energy, renewed emotional energy, new perspectives, new takes on things. So overall, this to me looks really, really positive, all kinds of new perspectives. And it almost looks like this is a decision or a point in time that serves as a catalyst to get you to think differently and eat differently and behave differently. Because I feel like right now, for some reason, the Ace of Discs has a lot to do with physicality, your nutrition, your exercise regimen. What is it, Heidi?
I was just laughing because they wrote, just because Heidi told me not to, so he put money in there.
Yeah, that's cool.
And then Steve writes, donating is fun. All right. Thanks, guys. Okay, so there's a word you need to hear, which is falseness. Feeling stuck in a present situation, location, job, or relationship that no longer resonates, but out of fear and habit, you stay when you know it's healthier walking away. It's compelling because if you're familiar with the situation, but don't deceive yourself about your motivations. However, fear-based decisions don't often work out in your highest interest. You also may be stuck in a long-term personal habit and unhealthy pattern. Be aware that you always have the option and the responsibility to let go of any thought or behavior that no longer honors you. There are lots of lovers here. I mean, well, that's what an eclipse does.
It does. It shines light on all of our most innermost thoughts and feelings, and nobody rules that more than the people that we love or the people that we think about, and romance and sex and marriage and all of these things. So eclipses, you know, the moon, there's so many, you know, it has domain over water, and water in our body, which is emotion. So these things always come to a head. So my suggestion is not to put it off, okay? Because it just sort of prolongs the inevitable. And you're certainly capable of dealing with it now.
So the person that just said, Jenny, you don't have to do it. This is our last two. The person that just said, just because Heidi told me not to, you need to rebuild, believe and succeed, awaiting results. So I hope that helps. And then for was it Steve or the last one? No, the last person. Trust, third eye, meditate. So Steve, trust, and you need to take some action. But trust your intuition. All right, guys. Thank you so much for joining us. Hope everybody has a good week. Safe eclipse season. And Jenny's website is jennymoonstone.com, which is changing. That's her also. That is where you get readings from her. Make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel, Jenny Moonstone. Readings with me, oneofakindbyheidi.org. Divination rods. You email bill@pagosiexcavation.com. It's on my website. Go to my website. And I hope everybody has a great, fabulous week. Let's just figure out how to end here. have so many screens up.